Now I'm being interviewed by Susan, and she says, "Tell me about my dad." And Dad was adopted at age 5. He wasn't really adopted, but he was living with the family until he turned 21, and then they adopted him. And this was on the Adams farm. And he grew up doing a lot of farm work as a kid, but he also attended Liberty School, and he graduated through 8th grade. And he and Mother were exposed to each other in school and then courted later. But when we moved to California, he moved from being a farmer, he was age 40, to the best work that he could find. This was in 1936, during the Depression. He found a job in a foundry, and when he was standing in line to apply for the job, there were several other people in line, and at some point from the foundry came a blast of some sort, and Dad said to the people in line, they hired somebody and they fainted.
Oh, geez.
And he was like that. He loved kids, and he would make funny noises as he came up behind them. And sometimes he did it to me when I didn't know he was there, and it scared me half to death as a kid. But with Betty and me, he would do special little tricks. When she stayed overnight, and we were probably in 1st, 2nd grade, maybe a little younger, we would be giggling, of course, and it would be time to go to sleep, and we were in the folks' bedroom on the farmhouse. So he would get the broom and he would brush around us in the bed and try to shut us up. Sleep time. And then he had what he called the grasshopper dance. And he would get on his feet and with his hands behind him, so he was like a backward somersault. And he would dance like that, and that was his grasshopper dance.
Yeah.
So those are a few of my memories of his dad and his love of humor. The job at the foundry was long hours and really an unpleasant surrounding. It was noisy and hot. He was a molder, and that's heavy work. But later, he passed a civil service exam, and he worked for Montebello School District as a janitor. And that was a job that really fit him because he loved kids, and they loved him, and he was always doing fun stuff for them. So that was a good thing. But his first job in California was not a good, pleasant job. Mother was, it's hard to describe my mom because she had a lot of interests and talents, actually, but she was not really easy to be around, and I can't explain it, but she kind of took over. Mm-hmm. But among her hobbies, she did crocheting, knitting, and tatting, which I never could learn to do.
And she wrote poetry?
She did. She would write, she loved hymn songs, and she would use the music from the hymnal and put new words to it. But I have in my possession one song that a sister to my girlhood friend, Carol Collins, and the sister was Janet, and she wrote the music to the words, the lyrics that Mother
Your
had
mom did,
written.
yeah.
And Roger sang it once, maybe more than once, but once I remember it was at the convention in Turner, Oregon, which was a big deal.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And she also was very much into school. She loved school. And she went, as I said, to Liberty School. And she was the valedictorian for the whole county from 8th grade. And she got to speak at one of the ceremonies as a result, and it was not just from Liberty School.
Sure.
So she got married, and she went to 1 year of high school first, and just loved it. And later, after Roger and I were married, she went back to night school.
She did.
And I think she and Roland studied together sometimes.
I don't know, but she
Yeah.
did get like really good, didn't she? Do
She
really
did,
well.
And she came out valedictorian
I
on that.
know.
So she encouraged us girls with our schooling and with our music a lot, and I owe her that.
That's good.